is Johnny Wrestling, or Johnny Takeover, as my shirt says. And listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're at a ball right now. It's crazy. It's loud. It's hectic. We're in New York City. But I want you to listen to No Holds Barred Network.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Wrestle Forum podcast, right here in the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I'm your host of the Wrestle Forum podcast, your self-proclaimed greatest host, your owner and CEO of the No Holds Barred Network, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined on this podcast by our very own. She's the EVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies herself, Tiffany. And as always, the rotating third here on the Wrestle Forum podcast. Today we are joined by none other than special guest, All Elite Kyle, at Kyle's Prescott on Twitter. What's going on, Kyle? From a fellow Kyle.
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on. It's been a podcast.
I know it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a couple weeks, get you on, and this is once we started this Wrestle Forum podcast, we're like, perfect. We're featuring a podcast to, feature people from the wrestling community and get their name out there and just talk and kind of roundtable talk about wrestling too, but mostly feature people that are important in this wrestling community. And you are one of them, which we'll get into in this episode for the people that don't really know much about you. But first things first, as myself and Tiff tweeted out earlier today, we have a very, very special announcement. We are excited about this, that something huge for the No Holds Barred Network as it continues to grow. This is another step in that direction. Note it is not the website. I'm still working on it. But slowly but surely that will come to fruition. But this is really huge. So we have a commercial here to play for you guys to introduce something with our new partnership right here with the No Holds Barred Network. Take a look.
Are you looking for the newest and hottest in the world of pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 6,000 hours of the best events from over 150 of your favorite promotions from 20 different countries around the globe. Brands like Progress Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Combat Zone, Defy, PCW Ultra, PWX, Over the Top, Shine, and hundreds of others with fresh content added every day for only $5.99 per month. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are officially sponsored by Powerslam TV Wrestling Network. We are very excited to start this partnership with them. This is huge. It's really big for the independent community. If you guys are really big fans of the independent wrestling community, this is huge. If you know what this is all about, I'll let Tiff explain it in a second, but we have a special offer to provide you fans of the Holds Barred Network out there, and that is you go over to Powerslam.tv, you use the code NOHOLDSFREE, and then you will enjoy 1 month free trial for Powerslam TV, guys. They are an exceptional service, as you heard in that commercial. We are so excited to partner with them, and we want to thank Powerslam TV for letting us be a sponsor right here on the No Holds Barred Network. So this is huge, Tiff.
It's so huge because, as I always say, I'm a big advocate for independent wrestling, right? Like, that's like one of the goals. I want to be a big advocate for independent wrestling, especially since I interview a lot of independent wrestlers that are all over the place. I go at our Ray Raimundo, okay? The Law, Ray Raimundo. I know I'm going to get crap for that. But We go to a lot of independent shows and we review them, and we also do interviews at them as well. So since we're in the pandemic, I mean, this is just another great way to get wrestling in as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of promotions. I'm so excited. Like Evolve is definitely one that's on there. That's a name that everybody knows. It's also like kind of like associated with like NXT and WWE. So
right.
for like I've been to Evolve a bunch of times here in New York. I mean, there's just CZW. I mean, a lot of the promotions that are on this app, I've gone personally to a bunch of these shows, or I'm very familiar with it. So I'm so excited. Like me and Ray, we're gonna figure. Indie Talks is gonna be back. We're gonna pick shows or maybe even matches from this app, and we're gonna watch them. We're gonna review them. We're gonna talk wrestling. I'm so excited for this. Yeah, maybe play with Kyle with the independent wrestling more.
There you go. So guys, use code NOHOLDSFREE, NOHOLDSFREE for anyone listening on the go. All one word. Enjoy 1 month free trial of powerslam.tv. So make sure you guys go on your web browser, go to powerslam.tv, and start your free trial now. We are so excited for this. So thank you again to the wonderful people at Powerslam TV. So,
yeah.
Yay, congrats.
Oh, thank you, Ollie Kyle. God, I forgot you were there.
What we're gonna call him like during the show, Ollie Kyle. Like,
I mean, we have to.
Should I call him Kyle 1, Kyle 2? I mean,
no,
like,
because I'm gonna forget what number I am.
Yeah, I would forget what number I was.
I'm that Kyle. Which one? That one? I don't know. Like,
just say you.
Names, like, forget it. Like, I'll give you guys different names here. So. Not Kyle anymore, so I don't know. My Kyle, I will always refer to him as Mr. Milk. So should I like call you Mr. Milk?
No,
like,
we're not doing that on this. You're not calling me Mr. Milk all show. I will not have that on this podcast.
That's my nickname for him. Anyway,
people are gonna be so confused.
Yeah, it's a joke from the old podcast, so
not happening. Anyways, so, guys, thank you for listening to that announcement. If you're new to this podcast, Wrestle Forum Podcast, where myself and Tiff are going to but have people from the wrestling community join us here on a roundtable discussion basis. We'll talk wrestling. We're going to talk about our guest specifically, where they come from, what they do for the wrestling community out there. So, Kyle, All Elite Kyle, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to this. The name All Elite Kyle. What's going on with that?
Well, I primarily just I watch a bunch of wrestling, but I primarily like focus on AEW.
So do we.
Yeah, so that's pretty much where it comes from.
Okay. I was waiting for a meeting. I thought maybe you were like, oh, well, no. I'm actually an executive vice president of AEW.
I wish.
Oh, man. How'd you come across All Elite Wrestling?
Well, I knew about the Elite and everybody through Ring of Honor and New Japan. And, when all the rumors started coming out that there was a new company forming, I kind of kept up with it all and everything, and paid attention in BT and everything, and I watched the BT episode where they finally announced it and everything. I've pretty much just been following AEW from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Basically the same with us too. Like this.
Yeah.
We've said the story many times. It really did it for us. Like when All In was as successful as it was, I think people knew at that point like something was brewing and something was going to happen that truly was a revolution, and it has been since then, and it's been amazing. So you're basically like everyone else, right? I mean, there's not really other ways you can come across it unless you're a newer fan and we're just like, oh, hey, what's this AEW people are all talking about? Let me tune in and watch. And I'd imagine 9 times out of 10, whoever these people are that do that, they fall in love with this company because they're doing all the right things in wrestling. I feel in a time where people were looking. They came in the perfect time. I think they came in at a time that people were looking for change. People wanted something different than they're used to seeing on cable television, and AEW was that company to come in and do that so far. So it's been an amazing ride so far. Like, I mean, it's not the AEP podcast. I'm already wearing my AEW shirt. Like, and just I can't. This company is taking over my life. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's how I felt about it too. Was funny. Me and a friend of mine, we were at work when they did the Jacksonville announcement rally, and we scheduled we sit there and didn't take our break until we knew it was time for the announcement rally.
That's awesome.
And we're supposed to just have a 15-minute break. We sat there through the entire thing. We didn't care that we were late on break or anything. We made sure that we watched the entire thing, and we were just in the break room, just like marking out over Jericho showing up and everything.
Oh yeah, that Jacksonville announcement was sweet. I actually rewatched it. Was it like 3 days ago actually, and that was pretty cool. And then I watched the one at night for the Double or Nothing rally. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's that?
It was such a cool experience, like watching that, like so cool. Like,
I mean, I totally forgot it. Double or Nothing rally. Like, Kenny hadn't officially signed with AEW. That was the rally that they announced that he was officially All Elite. Like, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it was too. Like, I figured Kenny was signing to AEW. That's what it was looking like, and he's always been my favorite. And so, like, as soon as he finally came out, I was like, yes, thank you.
Oh, he's become my number one. I think he was up there before AEW, but ever since All In, the guy's just taken over the number one spot. So, and that's sad. So now my number two officially is Kevin Owens. So is Kenny is Kenny your favorite? Like, your number one right now out of like any company right now?
Yeah, for sure. Kenny was like who I considered. Kenny, who is somebody I considered maybe fall back in love with wrestling with his match with Okada at Dominion, because like at the end I was a fan, but like it wasn't until like that match when I was just immediately everything about my life became professional wrestling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite matches that you've seen so far in AEW?
In AEW, let's see here. Recently, the Kenny Hangman Young Bucks tag match, of course.
Yeah, the 7-star.
But I also really liked. Oh yeah. I also really liked the Kenny and Pac. 30-minute Iron Man match. Yeah, and then Kenny and Mox as well at Full Gear. I know that a lot of people had their issues about that match, but I loved it.
Yeah, we were there live. That was it was sweet. It was I took it in a weird way because that was like my first taste of something close to a death match. I know it wasn't exactly a death match, but it was probably the most hardcore match I've ever seen at that point. It took me off guard, but I enjoyed it. Like I loved every minute of that thing. Like even to the point where they got to the end where they tore apart the ring and they went all the way down to the baseboards, and that's how they ended the match. Like it was truly a very, very good and what is described as a, pun intended, no holds barred type of match. Like they just went off. They went off the charts and did almost everything in that match. It was good. It was really
Loved
good.
it. It was so funny because like being there with Kyle, it's fun because it's like I've had the experience when Kyle came to New York, and then I had the experience when we went together to Maryland to see Full Gear.
All places, Baltimore.
Funny. Yeah, but it was really funny because again, like I said, like Kyle was like, oh, it's kind of like a death match. He's like, I'm not used to your ICW, and I'm like, boy, like this is not even a match. I was like, I was like, so I have to ask you, are you a fan of death matches at all?
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
I haven't watched like a lot of them. I've seen some of the stuff GCW does, and stuff like that. But yeah, I like them.
Cool.
Actually, my thing in death matches, my introduction to death matches was Jimmy Havoc's Progress stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm a big light tube girl. I'm sure you see me all the time on Twitter.
Yeah.
Light tube. tubes. It makes me laugh. I don't know what it is. I think because it just goes like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Dangerous chemicals in those light tubes, though.
Like, I mean, we've had people talk about it that it's just crazy that if you get hit with them, like, you know, you get like really hurt, and I don't know what it is. I just love to see a bunch of like, especially if it's a light tube match, that it's like around the ring. I gotta get Kyle to watch like one of these matches with me.
Yeah. I forgot which one it was, but I've watched one of the CZW's Tournament of Survival or Tournament of Death or I keep forgetting what the name is, but yeah, I watched one of those and that was insane.
They're pretty serious. I just put out last night of Brandon Kirk and Jimmy Lloyd with like two.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Yeah,
those guys.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I know them. Those wrestlers.
We gotta get Kyle.
They wrestle in that company.
Oh my goodness! I gotta get Kyle on the independent side. See, now that we're sponsored,
oh yeah, for sure.
Power Slam TV, I can get him to watch some death matches with CZW.
Exactly. I'll start my first month's free trial by using the code No Holds Free.
Yeah. See.
See, cheap plug.
I'll have to do that. I'll have to check out Power Slam. I've mostly been watching IWTV and stuff. I'll have to check out Power Slam and see what all they have and everything.
Yeah, you better use our code.
Oh, for sure.
I want Power Slam to be impressed. Okay, I'm gonna be pushing this code.
For sure.
No. There's just so much great wrestling, and that's like why we love doing a little bit of everything. So I was really curious because, like I said, like I know you're very big on AEW, like me and Kyle are. Yeah. But I kind of wanted to see, like, also, like, are you big into like independent? Like, are you also big into like WWE? Are you like, well, you brought up Ring of Honor in New Japan, so so like, what other companies like interested in?
Well, when it comes to independents, my absolute favorite and one of the only companies I've ever seen, SHW, Southern Honor Wrestling. If you want to watch their stuff, you can watch them on IWTV. Use promo code SHW for 5 days free.
There we go. Get the cheap plugs out. I love it. Let's go. Let's keep going.
But like, I have this like. At SHW, it's just like really insane connection because like I think it was like back before Double or Nothing, Southern Honor Wrestling had a show and they called it the I think it was Retaliation, and like they were trying to market it as they were trying to get 1,000 people to the show, like because apparently no one's ever had 1,000 people to an independent show in Georgia.
Okay.
So they were trying to do that, and Cody Rhodes ended up announcing that he was going to make an appearance there. Oh. So and he was going to have Pharaoh there, and I was off that day, so I told one of my friends who was real big into it. He was like, I was like, hey man, I kind of want to go check out this show and see what it's about, and try and see Cody. And so he said, yeah, I should go. And so me and my other friend, my other friend name is Kyle as well. Yeah. Well, we went to this show, and we knew Cody was there. Well, our friend, he's friends with some of the people in the company, and so he already knew that there was another big surprise. And he kind of spoiled it for he spoiled it for me about and he told us that it was Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was going to show up there. Okay. Was going to show up there, and so so I went, and I was all excited about it and everything, and after the first match, like I was hooked. It was like. I didn't even know like who these people were, and like I was having like more fun than not to bash WDB, but I was having more fun at this small independent company that I've never heard of than any WDB show I've ever been to, And I was having a great time, and then Jericho, his big brawl happens in the ring, and then Jericho's music hit, and so I'm freaking out, and I'm excited. Also, the lights go out, and Keeney's Devil Sky comes on.
Oh.
So I'm freaking out. And then I kind of calm down. I'm like, well, okay, there's no way Kenny Omega's here. They're just using his music to scare Jericho. And then the lights come on, and Kenny Omega's in the ring. I lost it.
See, you never know.
Yeah, and that was my first ever independent show. So I was like, well, I can never go. Like nothing's gonna top this. But what's cool about after that, me and my friend Kyle, we started going to we go almost every month now. And even though there's not always like special guests, like sometimes there is. Like their whole motto is you never know who's going to show up. And so like most of the shows are really, really good. And one of the last ones we went to, their main event was War Games. They actually had War Games at Independent. But yeah, it was really fun. I'm real big into that in SHW, AEW, of course, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Not really Ring of Honor as much now, mostly New Japan, but also really like Progress as well.
Yes. Another great promotion. I love it. See, and it's true because Conrad just said in the chat, indie wrestling is the base of pro wrestling. This is why I preach it so much. So my Kyle, did you know that number one husband, Anthony Gangone, faced Cody Rhodes in the past?
Ooh.
So this is why, like I always say, you don't know where a lot of these wrestlers, they start somewhere. They start in the independent scene, and then we see them in like AEW or WWE or New Japan, Ring of Honor, wherever it is. This is why I will continue to be an advocate for independent wrestling, like hardcore. So I love hearing when other people like support independent wrestling. It makes me excited. So I get all worked up. I love it.
You guys want to watch some crazy independent wrestling? Go to powerslam.tv and use code NOHOLDSFREE, and you can get a free month trial.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm telling you, give it a chance, right?
Yeah.
Like Kyle was just talking about all the promotions, like he didn't even know what to expect. So like I always say, support your local independent show. Like go find out of what states. Like I said, I'm blessed. I live in New York. I have a lot of access to a lot of independent shows, but it's worth it to look up like independent companies. We have to support indie wrestling because they are our future, right? They are the future of what we're gonna see in like the mainstream.
Sure.
Yes, you're very blessed. Hashtag blessed.
They're saying in the chat, okay? These folks, Darren, what's going on? He's saying that you guys have to come and see Synergy Wrestling. Synergy is another great promotion as well. It's based out of New Jersey. I've been there. I mean, I can't wait till everything goes back to normal because I miss wrestling so much.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm kind of I'm disappointed this weekend. I'm because of coronavirus screwing everything up. This weekend was supposed to be SHW was doing this thing called the Southern Cub Invitational. It was going to be a 2 tournament, and the first night was going to be Friday, and we were all going to go up to Georgia to stay the whole weekend for the whole event thing. Chris Bay was going to be there, and I was really excited about finally getting to see him. But the one I'm most gutted about, my favorite in SHW, Danny Jordan, who she had a match with Nyla on Dynamite. She was going to face my favorite independent wrestler, Kylie Ray.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was going to be very, I was so excited when that got announced, and when all this got canceled, and I was like, oh, God.
Oh, man, I love wrestling tournaments. I absolutely love wrestling tournaments. I love what they're all about. I love the concept of it. It's so cool. Like, I remember growing up watching King of the Ring. King of the Rings, like, the ones like they used to do back in the day were really well done, and I really wish WWE, like, nowadays would bring that concept back and do something similar to that. The tournaments that they've been doing lately, I think besides the Mae Young and Cruiserweight Classic, have been horrible. I love the way they did the Cruiserweight Classic and the Mae Young Classic, because those were tournaments that introduced indie stars in WWE and had like WWE TV time. So those were done right, and those were very, very well done. I loved both of them. I wish they would go back to that similar style, because I think they do have the best platform for it out of anybody. But now with AEW on the platform, I think maybe AEW should kind of grasp that and do something similar. You know what I mean? Do like an independent classic where they do like a tournament style that features independent stars from around the world. And like maybe the winner receives an AEW contract. There you go.
Yeah.
To do something like that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I just love how G1 is set up. That's my absolute favorite tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was the speaking of like, people,
I think we're losing you for a second. I think we're back now. Yeah. I think we're good.
Oh.
I think we're good.
Oh, what happened?
It was cut in and out, the Skype connection.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're good now.
Okay, everything good now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I said, but when it comes to wrestling tournaments, the one I like most is.
I think Skype's trying to mess with us right now.
Is it really?
It's like you're fine, and then all of a sudden when you go into that conversation, Skype just stops. Like,
Oh God!
It doesn't want him to talk about it. That's really what it is.
The G1. You're talking about the G1 climax, right? That big tournament.
Yes,
yeah.
Darren said, "Robot all elite, Kyle."
Yeah, you gotta put the robot emoji in your Twitter tag now. No, don't do that.
That's great.
But yeah.
When it comes more to independent talent, all the ones that people have been seeing are like Elite Johnson.
Oh, he's doing it again.
Yeah, I don't.
Is everything good?
I don't know what's going on. Of course.
Yes.
Oh no.
The problems that happen when doing live.
Yeah, Skype is the biggest deal in the podcast business. It's absolutely true. So, it might be the connection. I don't know. So.
Why is it? I don't understand why it does that. Like Skype, you're fine just talking now, but then when you get into when you go into like what you're talking about, it like just turns into robot Kyle, and we can't hear a word you're saying. But like right now, you're laughing, you're saying it's fine. I don't understand that.
That's so weird.
How come his laugh is not robotized? What is that?
That is so weird.
I'd love to hear
I'm not really sure what to do with my hands.
Yeah. Pull a little Ricky Bobby there.
Yeah.
I'm dying. At least people are in the chat are laughing. Max said it's the Hogan of podcasting. Like seriously, like could be the connection too. Everybody and their mother is on the internet too, so that's not
really true.
So, but yeah.
All right.
I mean, it is tough. It is tough for companies like that, right? You think about YouTube, you think about Skype, you think about like programs like this, like OBS. The people that work behind the scenes that fix all these bugs, they can't have all those people in their office buildings that like the tech people can't be all together because of the corona, right? They're probably having one tech guy come in a day, having to handle all that. And having to get to that is difficult. And I've seen warnings on YouTube. I've seen Skype warnings. I've seen lots of Twitter accounts based on these programs that said please bear with us since with this virus and everyone is streaming, we can't get to the bugs in time. And we've experienced that since we've been podcasting since this virus has started. We've seen the most problems on this podcast, I think, since we've started day one. It's crazy. Before this virus, it was like once in a while, once in a blue moon, something would happen and we'd be fine the next week. But now it's like every damn week something new pops up, and it's like, okay, what the hell? But again, it's a price you pay when you're doing live podcasts, especially during this pandemic. But we'll try to get through it as best as possible, guys. We apologize for your audio listeners out there that are experiencing this on the go. Obviously, we can't do anything to fix that, but please bear with us as we go on here.
Yeah.
All right. Is everything good now?
I think. Who knows? Let's just not talk about G1. Let's kind of throw that away. Maybe it was G1 that's causing that.
I won't talk about it. All right,
what have you been doing to keep yourself busy during the pandemic?
Well, recently, Animal Crossing. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. It might be his connection. Like,
should we? Like, I don't know what to do at this point in the forum podcast. Like, do we stop? Like, what do we do? People on the go are like, what are they doing?
Kyle, other stuff open on your side.
No.
Close everything out but Skype. Not you, only Kyle.
Yeah.
Well, you said Kyle.
No, nothing's
You
open.
have anything else open, close it, because that could be it too. You might have too many things open to be pulling out the Skype.
No, I've got everything closed. I've got everything turned off as well.
It might be, unless we might have to have him call back.
Yeah.
So hang up, call back.
We'll stay. We'll stay live on the air. We're
gonna stay live. I'm gonna add you back.
Right.
We're gonna try that.
Okay.
All right.
You're all over my screen. Let me just put. You know what? For now, I'm gonna put the thumbnail up.
Hey, it's just crazy. Yeah, no, it's just
We're still talking, guys. People watching on YouTube, we're still here. Don't adjust your TV sets. We're just readjusting Skype. But
I don't know. We're gonna see if.
God, I hate this. I hate.
So how are you, Kyle? Okay, we got the other back. Hopefully that sounds so good. Okay.
All right, are we good?
I think we're good.
I think so. Tiff, it's rearranged you, so don't be shocked because you're now on the bottom and Kyle's now on the top. I don't know how it did it, but it is what it is. We'll continue. But yeah.
Play hot,
Okay, so we'll go back to that question. What have you been doing during this virus? Keep yourself occupied. All right, everyone, brace for impact.
Okay. Well, recently I've got into Animal Crossing, so I've been playing that a lot.
I don't know what it is with that game.
I don't have Switch, so I can't play that game.
Oh, really?
It's like the big thing right now that people are buying Switch now. Like I heard just for the game. So
it's pretty fun.
Yeah, you make your own island. I hear like a bunch of my friends it's funny because I'll be in PlayStation party with a bunch of people, and then one of my friends, Stephanie, shout out to her because she's working, she's one of the essential workers and everything like that, and she comes on and she'll hang out with us in PlayStation, and I hear what the heck.
Yeah, see, I don't have a Switch. My roommate does, and everybody started playing Animal Crossing, so I bought Animal Crossing, and he lets me play it on his because I'm an Xbox person.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no.
It's so weird. I don't know. It might be his connection.
So what do we do at this point?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's Skype, so I don't know. It could be his connection to it.
Well,
that's going out.
Well, Tiff, I don't know what to do. We can always record the rest offline. I don't know if that affects anything.
Well, that's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
I don't know what to do. This is like putting me on the spot.
You're the owner and CEO of the No Holds Barred Network.
Okay, so to continue this and prevent anything bad, worse from happening, guys, whoever's listening right now on YouTube, Skype, or YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, that all those things, we will record the rest of the podcast offline. I will pull this one that was on YouTube and I'll attach them together. So to transition into the one offline, I will play the Power Slam commercial again for you guys. What? Before we go? What?
Darren said, ask him yes or no questions and he could hold up the signs.
Like Sammy Guevara? Yeah. All right. Apologize, guys. The full episode will be up later on. We apologize. Thank you. And here's another Power Slam TV commercial.
Are you looking for the newest and hottest in the world of pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 6,000 hours of the best events from over 150 of your favorite promotions from 20 different countries around the globe. Brands like Progress Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Combat Zone, Defy, PCW Ultra, PWX, Over the Top, Shine, and hundreds of others with fresh content added every day for only $5.99 per month. Get your free trial today at powerslam.tv.